Yesterday, I went to the Canadian Watches and Jewelry Show Montreal edition. It was a lot of fun. I shot a lot of footage that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in this video today. But before we start, I'd like to just thank you guys for helping the channel reach 1 million views. So thank you very much for watching my videos and of course for subscribing and commenting and everything. So thank you very much for your support. When I got to the show, I met up with a buddy that just came back from Japan. He picked up a couple of Grand Seikos and even picked up another Grand Seiko at the show right here that you see on the screen. Nice Grand Seiko quartz watch. I really was looking forward to seeing the SBGH 283 that he got from Studio Shizukuishi, Japan. You can only get this watch if you visit the Grand Seiko studio in Japan, and it was really nice to see it in the flesh. Then I visited my buddy Vincent. He definitely has a lot of swag, as you can see from the table right here. Omega pins, pens, trays, cups, all sorts of watch swag and merchandise at his desk. He also has some watches for sale, and he even has a Piaget beach towel. Here is Bijouterie Le Cilice. They have a lot of watches on sale, including this nice 38mm quartz Seamaster that I was a little bit tempted by but decided to not ultimately buy. Here we have some nice Rolex clocks, wall clocks that has this nice sweep to it. Even the GMT, there's some GMT models that GMT hands even work apparently, but I don't think these will pass the wife or girlfriend test for me personally, so I decided to not buy any, but definitely something cool to consider if you have, your own space in the house where you can display your nerdy watch gadgets. Here are some Seiko mods from AB Timepieces. Really well made. I'm not super into Seiko mods, but if you are into Seiko mods, definitely contact AB Timepieces on Instagram. Super nice watches, and they're very well made. And from far away, they kind of look like the real thing, but definitely when you get closer, you notice that it is a Seiko mod, which is kind of the point, right? It's kind of fun, and you can experience a luxury watch without having to pay the big price for it. Next, we have Derek from watchestobuy.com. Definitely the most unique kiosk of all the kiosks out there. Definitely had a lot of unique pieces that I've never ever seen before, like this Omega Seamaster in this like square shape, as well as this really nice gold Datejust with a dial that aged. This dial used to be blue and it aged all the way to being green. Definitely if budget was not an issue, I would have run away from the show with this watch right here, but I do not have, like tens of thousands of dollars to just throw around at watches at this point in my life, but definitely super nice watch right here. They even had this crazy dial watch that you will see on the screen. Turquoise fuchsia kind of dial from this Datejust. So yeah, lots of really nice watches from his kiosk. His personal watch was this vintage Speedmaster, as you can see on the screen. Super nice watches, super cool guy. Definitely visit his website if you're looking into buying a vintage timepiece that is very unique. So yeah, lots of cool vintage watches, as you can see on the screen. He has some more expensive stuff like this Rolex sub right here, but he also has some more affordable stuff like some $50, like mechanical one watches. And definitely, if you're interested in any of these watches, visit his website or contact him on Instagram. Then we have Hano's watches. His stuff is more modern high-end watches, and it's very interesting to see the contrast between his booth, which is the modern stuff, versus Derek's booth, which is the more vintage stuff. So you get like modern as well as vintage at the show. Lots of cool watches on display. After that, I went to see Atelier Lou. They came with a lot of watches. I was very excited to go see their booth because there's a lot of watches that we don't see in retailers anywhere else. For example, the Nivada Gretchens that you see on the screen, they're the only authorized dealer for Nivada in Canada. So it was very fun to see the F77s as well as the Super Antarctic and the Antarctic Divers. They also have Yema as well as Zodiac, which is also watches that you don't see everywhere, so it's very fun to play with them in real life. Here's a Super Antarctic, really nice watch, 38mm, kind of looks like an Explorer, a really nice vibes, as well as this Antarctic Diver right here that I really liked, and I think it's more in my budget for me to pick up compared to that golden Datejust, of course. So met a lot of guys that I already knew and met a lot of new friends at the show. So super fun to see people and watches together. Very nice. Here is Vincent's personal watch. This is a Omega Bullhead watch. Definitely one of the most unique watches at the show. Look at this crazy case shape as well as the bullhead configuration on the chronograph. Super nice. Here is Galerie Noire. They definitely had a lot of watches on display, as you can see right here. I really like this titanium Christopher Ward, super light on the wrist, like this pink dial, a nice summer watch right here, as well as this Harley dial Oyster Perpetual that kind of has the same configuration as a Rolex Air King. My buddy said there's a lot of 5s on the dial, and indeed there's a lot of 5 on this dial. Here's David, the founder of Montreal Watch Club. If you were in the Montreal area, definitely join us on Facebook. Overall, it was a really nice show, very well organized. A big thanks to the organizers for organizing this. I did not get footage of all the kiosks, unfortunately, but really looking forward to next year. And of course, do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this type of content, and I'll see you in the next episode.